today, since my father is still in the hospital, he's going to be doing physical therapy for 2 weeks. But that's all right. We're still going to keep going and doing all the stuff that we were all doing together because somebody's got to hold it down, right? All right. So I want to show you an aloe plant or aloe that kind of exploded and it's really bad. So in this situation, because we've seen this a lot, so it was kind of perfect to be able to show you how to fix it, in other words, when this happens. So let me show you. I will be right back. Okay, so this is the aloe that we're going to be taking apart, because when the snow hit, this guy was really like, it had a lot of babies. As you can see, there's like a lot in here. These older ones that were in here were already kind of going on their way, and that's fine because overcrowding does that to the bigger ones sometimes, but it's okay. You see this stuff? This is all burnt and frozen and burnt stuff from the snow and then from the intense heat. Look, I just opened up, so let's look at this thermometer real quick. You see that? Almost 100, and it's only been open for about 2 seconds, so maybe it was probably like 110. So this is what happens when that happens. So we're gonna fix this. Okay, let me put you down. Okay, so as you can see, I went ahead and took it out so you can see what it looks like when it first comes out of the pot. You see how there's overcrowding. For one, there's a lot of overcrowding. There's a lot of dead stuff that we're going to have to get rid of, which that's fine. That's fine. It happens when you let this happen. Like, this is perfect to be able to show new aloe owners, especially because this happens whenever they start to get big, like Mama and Papa. I don't know if you've seen them, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. Mama and Papa have already gone through a few seasons. These are some of the weird ones that we found out there in one of the pots, but these big ones, they do this every year. Like, you see how, pretty sustained on their own they are. The only thing we had to do was cut some of this stuff back. The only reason we left this one's kind of an experiment to see if it does better. Because sometimes it does better when we leave them on, sometimes it does better when we cut them off. So this one's kind of weird. But see, these little ones that we're going to have to move. But you see how that starts to overcrowd itself with tiny little new ones, and then you have to separate them. That's exactly what happens when you plant. You have one or two of them in there and they start shooting off little babies. This is what it looks like when you let that go for too long. Okay, but you see how it's pretty crazy. This is what I like to do to separate them, just because it makes it a little easier for me. I don't know, it depends on how you do stuff, but you see how easy that fell apart? I didn't even have to, fight it too much. Okay. Now, when you're going in, you don't want to be too hard about it. I'm being very soft. I know it doesn't look like it, but I am. Because I'm trying to see where look, we hit roots. Bam. And you just, if you barely lift like I'm doing, if you do this, you'll be able to feel where all the roots are, and you'll be able to separate them a little bit easier than most are able to, because this one is unwrapping very beautifully. You see how it has clumps, look, this one came out on its own. So let's take this one out. See, that's one. And then what you would do is you would plant them. And of course, I have a bunch of tiny pots. So this is what I'm going to use, this size right here. I'm not exactly sure what size this is. I don't remember. 12 centimeter. Okay, so 12 centimeter across. That's the size I usually use. Mom likes to go a little bit bigger, like these sizes. It all really depends on you. These are brand new, so these bigger ones I'll put in the bigger pots. And if I can save them, like some of this is going to get cut off. And you see, look, perfect for you to be able to see. New one right there by itself. So you would just go through, and they will come off, guys. They will come off by themselves. Like, you don't have to do very much. And they'll tell you if they're going to stay together or not. Like, if there's more than one, So like this is a clump of them. So I'm going to have to go in and see where the root is and see if this is going to have to be all one together. And that's fine. If they come off like this, you can always put them in a jar with some water. It's very easy to get these guys to root. Usually you don't need rooting powder. You could use rooting powder if you wanted to, but you don't necessarily have to. So there's that. So if they come off like that, don't panic. It's okay. Aloe is very versatile. Aloe really doesn't care where it grows as long as it grows. So you see how they come off by themselves? That's what you want. You want them to be able, you want to be able to just take them out. You don't want to fight them. That's not what we do. You see how you can already see the roots coming out? Very easily done. That's why we love aloe, guys. So very quick and easy to do. Of course, I'm going to come back and show you what a couple of them look like here in a minute. Let me go ahead and finish this, and then I'll show you that after this. Alrighty guys, so something I forgot to mention is that I like to have some kind of containers with water or something in it, so that way you could, as you're taking them out, you put them in the water so they can soak a bit and actually, you know, get some water on their own. Because when they're overcrowded, sometimes, you know, a lot of plants don't get watered and some get more water and uneven, all that. So you want to make sure to put them in like some kind of container like this. So this is how we do it. We just grab a bunch of containers and put them in there like this. This is the haul so far. I have no idea how many I'm going to be planting or how many are going to come out of this. I just know that that's all of them. So I'm gonna plant the big ones back in here as we had them, and then all the little ones are going to go in their separate pots for sale. So I'll see you in a minute. Alrighty guys, we're back, and this is what I mean by putting them in their proper little, these are all ones that need to root a little bit more. We usually like to leave them, like the bigger ones, we'll separate them out with the ones that sort of have roots but not like too many, and then these are the ones that need to grow more roots than what they have. And yes, you can see that there are roots in there. Something like this, guys. Let me show you really quick. Now, this is what I like to do with the ones that don't, they're just roots. You see how they're just roots and they don't really have any up or down? Like you can tell this is the top side right here. But this is a good root system. All the ones that don't really have anything, I like to let them soak for a day and then I'll plant them. You see how the tops they have green and some of them don't? I like to let that soak so that way they're plenty ready, and when you put them in the dirt, they automatically want to grow. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but it does it. This root was going sideways, you see? So this one I would plant in, let's say, that size pot and let that grow. And what that's going to end up looking like is something like this when you plant it. It's going to look like that. And that's fine. I like to cover it up a little bit with dirt so that way it knows that it's in the ground. Sometimes they don't like to remember that they are plants. As weird as that sounds. But yeah, that was the whole pot. Give me 1 second. That was that big pot of aloe that I showed you. That's how you can get them to root fairly easy. Again, you don't need rooting powder most of the time. If it's a little bit hardier and maybe it's being a little stubborn, you can use a tiny little bit, but not really. I wouldn't. Rooting hormone, you really don't need it for these guys. But like this one, I'm going to plant here in something here in a second when I can figure out what it is. But like I said, make sure that when you're doing this stuff, you're having like a little bit of a system. The way we do it, it makes things a little easier on our end. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to sit here planting in the hot sun like all day. I do love to plant, but being out in the hot sun in 100 and something degree weather sucks. So make it easier on yourselves. But that's what I have for you today. That's the rest of Aloe Attitude, and we will see you when we have another problem with them, guys.